When I slowed down, my speaking became clearer. I had more time to think about words and pronunciation. Clear communication is more important than speed. Another important thing is enjoying the stories you read. If you enjoy the story, learning becomes easier. Do not force yourself to read boring material. Choose stories that make you curious and excited. I loved reading stories about friendship and adventure. These stories kept me interested, and because I enjoyed them, I practiced more often. Sometimes I even acted out scenes from stories. I pretended to be different characters and spoke their lines aloud. This made speaking practice fun and helped me improve my expression. One day, I practiced a conversation from a restaurant scene in a storybook. I pretended to order food and answer questions. A few weeks later, I visited a real restaurant and confidently ordered in English. That moment made me proud, because I saw how practice helped in real life. I also learned that mistakes during conversations are normal. Sometimes I used the wrong tense. Sometimes I forgot words. But every mistake became part of my learning. Once, I accidentally said, "I am boring," instead of, "I am bored." Everyone laughed kindly, and someone explained the difference. I never forgot that lesson after that day. Conversations teach lessons that books alone cannot teach. They train your mind to respond quickly. They also build courage and confidence. Another helpful activity is discussing stories with others. After reading a story, try talking about it with a friend or another learner. Ask questions like, "What was your favorite part?" or "What did you learn from the story?" These discussions improve speaking naturally. I also started learning useful transition words. Words like first, then, after that, finally, and because helped me speak more smoothly. They made my stories and conversations easier to follow. For example, instead of saying random sentences, I learned to connect ideas. I could say, first, I read the story. Then, I listened to the audiobook. After that, I practiced speaking about it. These small improvements made a big difference. Another important lesson is patience. Some days conversations will feel easy. Other days they may feel difficult. This is normal. Language learning has good days and hard days. The important thing is to continue. To continue, every story you read adds new knowledge to your mind. Every conversation strengthens your speaking ability. Little by little, your English grows stronger. Do not wait until your English becomes perfect before speaking. Speak now. Practice now. Learn now. Fluency comes through action, not waiting. Remember, every fluent speaker was once a beginner who struggled with simple sentences. What made them improve was consistent practice and courage. So continue reading stories. Continue speaking with others. Continue practicing. Your confidence will grow, your vocabulary will expand, and your English will become more natural over time. And always remember this. Every conversation is a new opportunity to grow stronger. In English. Chapter 4. Turning English into a daily habit. Many people start learning English with excitement. They study for a few days, maybe for 1 or 2 weeks, and then they stop. Life becomes busy. Motivation becomes weak. Slowly, English practice disappears from their daily routine. I understand this problem very well because it happened to me too. When I first started learning English, I practiced only when I felt motivated. Some days I studied for hours. Other days I did nothing. Because of this, my progress became slow. I forgot words quickly, and my speaking confidence stayed weak. One day, I realized something important. Success does not come from motivation alone. Success comes from habits. When something becomes a habit, you do it naturally without waiting for motivation. After understanding this, I decided to make English part of my daily life. I started with very small habits because small habits are easier to continue. Every morning after waking up, I spent 10 minutes reading English. It was not a long time, but I did it every single day. Some days I read short stories. Other days I read simple articles or dialogues. The important thing was consistency. At first, 10 minutes felt small, but those 10 minutes slowly changed my life. Day after day, my vocabulary improved. Mall vocabulary. My reading became faster. Most importantly, English became part of my normal routine. I also created a speaking habit. Every evening, I spoke English for 15 minutes. Sometimes I talked to myself. Sometimes I recorded my voice. Other times I practiced with online speaking partners. At first, speaking every day felt difficult. There were moments when I wanted to skip practice. I felt tired after work or school. But I reminded myself that even small daily practice matters. One evening, I almost skipped my English practice because I was very tired. But instead of quitting completely, I practiced for only 5 minutes. Those 5 minutes reminded me of an important lesson. Doing a little is better than doing nothing. Slowly, daily English practice became automatic. I no longer needed to force myself. It became a natural part of my day, just like eating breakfast or brushing my teeth. Another thing that helped me was creating an English environment around me. I surrounded myself with English little by little. I changed the language settings on my phone to English. At first, it was confusing. Some words were, but after a few weeks, I became comfortable with many common English words because I saw them every day. I also started listening to English music during free time. Even when I did not understand every word, listening helped my ears become familiar with the language. Sometimes I searched for lyrics and sang along with the songs. One song taught me the phrase, "never give up." I heard it many times while listening. Soon, the phrase became part of my daily vocabulary. Music helped me remember words naturally. Watching English videos also became part of my routine. I watched short videos every day while eating dinner or relaxing. Some videos were educational. Others were funny or motivational. At first, I used subtitles because understanding spoken English was difficult. But slowly, I started understanding more without subtitles. This made me feel proud and motivated. Another powerful habit was carrying a notebook everywhere. Whenever I learned a new word or phrase, I wrote it down immediately. Then I tried to use it in my own sentence. For example, one day I learned the word confident. I wrote, "I want to become more confident in English." Writing sentences helped me remember vocabulary better. I also reviewed my notebook every night before sleeping. This small habit strengthened my memory and helped me remember words longer. One very important lesson I learned was this: habits become stronger when they are simple and realistic. Some learners create very difficult study plans. They decide to study English for 4 hours every day, but after a few days, they become tired and stop completely. It is much better to practice a little every day than to study too much. Only once in a while. I started with small goals. Read 1 page, learn 3 new words, speak for 10 minutes. These small goals felt easy, so I could continue consistently. Another habit that helped me was thinking in English. At first, I translated everything from my native language into English. This made speaking very slow, so I started practicing simple thoughts directly in English. While walking outside, I described things in my mind. I thought things like, "The sky is beautiful today," or "That shop looks busy." At first, thinking in English felt difficult, but after regular practice, it became easier and more natural. I also learned the importance of morning practice. My mind felt fresh in the morning, so English practice became easier. Even 5 or 10 minutes in the morning helped me start the day positively. Sometimes I read motivational English quotes in the morning. Short sentences like, "Keep going and believe in yourself" gave me energy and improved my reading skills. At the same time, another good habit is reading aloud daily. Reading aloud improves pronunciation, confidence, and fluency. I practice this every morning for a few minutes. At first,